back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got the most painful NFL injuries of all time. That chat.
Damar Hamlin, cardiac arrest. And one of the most terrifying scenes in
seeing
NFL
this shit
history,
live
Bills
was
safety
crazy.
Damar Hamlin collapsed mid-game after making a
Bro,
tackle
and
during
for the niggas that was sending my man T. Higgins death threats, bro, you lame as hell
Monday
for
Night
that.
Football matchup. The scene was
People
total
act
chaos.
like it was his
Damar
fault.
stood up briefly before falling backward
bro.
lifeless, and CPR was performed for nearly 9 minutes on the field. Damar was given a defibrillator before being rushed to the hospital with cardiac arrest. Doctors later said his heart had to be restarted on site. The emotional trauma rippled across the league. Players wept, the game was canceled, and for the first time in modern NFL history, death felt moments away. Miraculously, Hamlin recovered and returned to play in 2023, but the event remains one of the most harrowing moments in league history. Joe Theismann compound leg fracture. Joe Theismann's leg snapped like a twig
LT
under
still
the weight
ain't
of
seen the
Lawrence
clip
Taylor,
yet,
and it changed NFL history. During the Monday Night Football game, Theismann was sacked by Taylor and Harry Carson, fracturing both the tibia and fibula in his lower right leg. One of the bones pierced right through his skin. A compound fracture so gruesome, the broadcast never showed a replay. He never played again, retiring with 25,206 career passing yards and 160 touchdowns. Theismann later said he felt a burning sensation and saw his foot pointing the wrong direction. The emotional devastation of having his career end instantly and so violently made this one of the most traumatic injuries the NFL has ever seen. Alex Smith, compound fracture and infection. Alex Smith's injury wasn't just painful, it nearly killed him.
Didn't bro have like what, 17 surgeries or some shit?
And fibula after being sacked by J.J. Watt and Kareem Jackson. Then came the nightmare that followed. A flesh-eating bacterial infection developed post-surgery.
I ain't gonna lie, nigga. If I saw my leg looking like that, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Just go ahead and chop it off at that point. Like, real shit. This is disgusting. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, this goes to show you that, bro, NFL, bro, that shit ain't no joke. It's not for the weak. Like, anything can happen to you in the NFL, bro. And this shit is just crazy.
Leading to 17 total procedures and fears of amputation. He lost over 30% of the muscle in his right leg and spent nearly 2 years in recovery. Before the injury, he had 35,650 career passing yards and 199 total touchdowns. Against all odds, Smith somehow returned in 2020 and won Comeback Player of the Year, but his leg will never be the same, and doctors still call it a medical miracle. Johnny Knox, fractured vertebrae. Johnny Knox,
I'm surprised he didn't get paralyzed or killed off this.
In a 2011 game against Seattle, he fumbled, dove for the ball, and was hit head-on by Anthony Hargrove. The impact bent his spine backwards and immediately fractured a vertebrae, requiring spinal fusion surgery. He lost 35 pounds, needed help walking, and never played again, retiring at just 25 years old. Before the injury, he had 1,728 career receiving yards in less than 3 seasons, and had just made the Pro Bowl the year prior. Watching a promising career end in real time without warning made this a heartbreaking moment for fans and players alike. Tua Tagovailoa, concussions. Few injuries are as mentally terrifying as head trauma, and Tua's 2022 season was a masterclass in his handling.
The 2022 season, everything could have been prevented if they would have just not let him come back in that Bills game, bro. He was stumbling and shit. He was diagnosed with a concussion, but they still let the nigga come back in the game. Let alone play on Thursday.
He returned the same game only to be concussed again.
This clip right here. And then he played on Thursday. Like, come on, gang. Like, they set that nigga up to fail that year.
Later against the Bengals, slammed backwards.
I'm glad that whole medical staff got
in the
fired.
fencing position. A neurological sign of severe brain trauma. He was taken off on a stretcher and diagnosed with a concussion, his second in 5 days. He missed multiple games and his career was put in jeopardy. While he returned in 2023 and posted a league-leading 4,624 passing yards, the fear remains. One more hit could end it all for him. Kevin Everett, spinal cord injury. Kevin Everett's injury was the definition of life-threatening. On a routine tackle during the 2007 season opener, he hit his head and immediately collapsed. Doctors diagnosed a dislocation and fracture of his C3 and C4 vertebrae with a high likelihood of permanent paralysis. The initial prognosis was grim. He'd never walk again. Yet through early cooling treatments and rapid surgery, Everett beat the odds and regained movement in his legs. His NFL career ended after just 12 catches for 137 yards, but walking again became the victory that mattered most. Dennis Byrd, broken neck. Dennis Byrd's story is one of tragedy turned into triumph. Playing for the Jets in 1992, he attempted to sack Chiefs QB Dave Krieg, but collided headfirst with a teammate, fracturing his C5 vertebra. The injury left him paralyzed, and doctors believed he might never walk. Bird defied expectations, undergoing intense rehab and walking again within months. He retired with 28 sacks, and while he never played again, his jersey was later retired by the Jets. The psychological pain of losing a career was deep, but Bird's strength in reclaiming his body made him a legend beyond football. Chuck Hughes, on-field death. Chuck Hughes collapsed with under 2 minutes left in the game against the Bears and never got up. He died of a heart attack on the field, becoming the only NFL player to die during a game. The autopsy revealed advanced heart disease, despite Hughes being just 28 and seemingly healthy. He had complained of chest pains early in their season, but tests failed to reveal anything. The emotional shock rippled across the league. Lions teammates stood frozen as medics rushed in. Hughes had just 15 catches for 262 yards in his career.
Imagine seeing your teammate die in front of you on the field. I probably wouldn't want to play football ever again after that.
His name lives on as a sobering reminder of football's fragility. Darryl Stingley, paralyzing spinal.
Ain't this
in a 1978 preseason game,
like
Darryl Stingley went up for a pass and was crushed midair by Jack Tatum, a hit that left him paralyzed from the neck down. The impact fractured his 4th and 5th cervical vertebrae and compressed his spinal cord. He regained limited movement in one arm, but remained a quadriplegic until his death in 2007. Before the injury, Stingley had posted 1,883 receiving yards and 14 touchdowns in 5 seasons. The emotional toll extended beyond the field. Stingley never held resentment publicly, but the league changed its rules on dangerous hits in large part because of it. It was one of the NFL's darkest wake-up calls. Rashad Johnson, severed finger. Rashad Johnson's injury was bizarre, gory, and shockingly painful. In a 2013 game against the Saints, he tackled Darren Sproles and noticed his hand profusely bleeding. When he removed his glove, the tip of his left middle finger was entirely gone. The bone had to be shaved down and the wound was stitched closed, leaving him permanently disfigured. Incredibly, Johnson returned 3 weeks later and finished the season with 58 tackles and 3 interceptions.
That's crazy.
It may not have ended his career, but the sheer trauma of watching part of your finger disappear mid-game left a lasting scar. Tim Crumry, broken leg in the Super Bowl. Bengals defensive tackle Tim Crumry suffered a brutal broken leg in the Super Bowl while trying to tackle 49ers running back Roger Craig. His leg twisted beneath him, breaking both the tip.
Fuck! Y'all can see that? God damn.
Tibia and fibula, visible to millions watching live. He was carted off with an air cast and yet returned the following season. Crumley played 6 more years and never missed a game after. But the pain of being removed from the biggest game of his life after just 2 drives never faded. It is still one of the most iconic injuries in Super Bowl history. Destry Wright, dislocated ankle and broken leg. Steelers running back Destry Wright's Destry Wright, dislocated.
Hey, bruh. Nigga, his whole foot turned around. What the fuck? Oh, hell no.
Ankle and broken leg. Steelers running back Destry Wright's injury in a 2000 preseason game was a stomach-turning affair. His right leg twisted unnaturally, with his foot pointing upward while he lay face down in the turf. The injury included a broken fibula and a dislocated ankle. He never played another snap in the NFL. Though it was only preseason,
I'm not surprised.
The visuals were enough to haunt fans and players. It ended what could have been a promising career before it even started. Zach Miller, torn artery and dislocated knee. Bears tight end Zach Miller suffered one of the most unique and dangerous injuries ever when he dislocated his knee on a touchdown catch that was ultimately overturned.
The injury
tore his popliteal artery, cutting off blood flow to his entire leg. Emergency vascular surgery saved it from amputation, but Miller underwent 9 surgeries and never played again. He had 1,631 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns before the injury. While his leg was saved, his NFL career was not. Reggie Brown, spinal cord contusion. Linebacker Reggie Brown collapsed during a game against the Jets after making a tackle in the final game of his rookie season. Trainers performed
spinal
CPR
cord
on the
injuries
field as he had
more
stopped
often
breathing
than
due to contusion. He was rushed to the hospital and stabilized, but never returned to football. Brown had only played 16 career games, but had been a rising star in the Lions defense. His injury highlighted the razor-thin line between playing and paralysis. Napoleon McCallum, hyperextended knee and nerve damage. Raiders running back Napoleon McCallum suffered one of the most grotesque knee injuries ever in a Monday night game against the 49ers. His knee hyperextended so violently that it severed ligaments and tore his artery and nerve tissue. He was immediately carted off and never returned to the NFL. The visuals were so disturbing that broadcasters completely avoided replays. McCallum had 790 career rushing yards, but the injury ended any hope of building on it. The nerve damage made walking a long-term challenge, let alone running. Bryce Paup, nerve injury and spinal trauma. In a game against the Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker Bryce Paup suffered a spinal cord contusion that left him temporarily unable to move his arms or legs. The injury stemmed from a hit that compressed his neck and triggered a burning sensation down his spine, what doctors call neuropraxia. While he eventually regained movement and avoided paralysis, Paup admitted the sensation of temporary paralysis was psychologically shattering. Before the injury, he had 75 career sacks and was the 1995 NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Though he returned to play, he was never the same, and the fear of total immobility lingered every time he stepped onto the field. If you like this video, YouTube thinks you'll like this next one too.
This was a
stick
good
with Football
video,
for Dummies and give it a watch.
Hey man, shit. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos I'm to react to. Without further ado, I'm out.
I'ma make them feel me, make them people when they show me. And if you don't know me, I'ma make sure that you know me. I hate to say it, but I really think I'm broke. But I know I'm chosen, I really know I'm chosen. I know I'm chosen. I was just lost a year ago, but now I'm focused. When good at sports, this microphone can be my trophy. Not taking drugs, I found a better way of coping.